Do you think freebies influence the voting pattern and voting decision?
या डेफिनेटली एक्चुअली मैं अभी रिसेंटली अपने गांव होके आई हूँ एंड मैंने देखा जैसे मेरी दादी सी वॉज वेरी हैप्पी कि भाई उनके अकाउंट में 10,000 रुपये आए हैं, गवर्नमेंट ने दिए। एंड उनका वोटिंग का मेन जो रीजन था वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ यही था, उनको कुछ मतलब नहीं डेवलपमेंट हो रही है, इस गवर्नमेंट के आने का क्या इम्पैक्ट पड़ेगा, बट उनका सिर्फ यही रीजन था कि उनके अकाउंट में 10,000 रुपये आए थे।
बेसिकली टैक्स पेयर्स का ही पैसा है ना, वो जो मिसयूज होता है उसका बेसिकली फ्री आप अगर किसी को अप्लाइज करते हो तो
स्टिल उसका लोग मिसयूज भी करते हैं, अपने आप को गरीबी रेखा से नीचे दिखाते हैं।
वो फंड यूज़ होना चाहिए, मतलब जो भी डेवलपमेंट है उसके लिए यूज़ होना चाहिए, बट वो डेवलपमेंट में यूज़ ना होके वो फ्री चला जाता है लोगों को।
वो इन्फ्लुएंस भी होते हैं फ्रीबीज के कारण, क्योंकि मेजॉरिटी ऑफ आप देखेंगे पॉपुलेशन वो एक गरीबी रेखा से नीचे के लोग हैं।
सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से फिर एडिशनल फंड उनको एलोकेट कराना पड़ता है, देन अल्टीमेटली लोड तो फिर पब्लिक पे आता है।
बट ये इलेक्शन कमीशन को 6 महीने पहले स्टॉप कर देना चाहिए।
I think this should stop.
These were real voices, honest, unfiltered, and very telling. Freebies and cash schemes clearly influence voters. But there's a bigger, deeper question. What does this cost the economy and who pays the price? Across Indian states, cash transfers and pre-poll giveaways have become routine and extremely effective. Reports show that in the last few years, states have rolled out welfare schemes worth over rupees 2 trillion. And in states like Bihar, welfare promises were a major reason behind sweeping victories. But popularity comes with a cost we rarely talk about. Let's break that down in today's episode of Inside Out. State budgets are already stretched. Salaries, pensions, subsidies, they are rising every year. And that leaves little room for capital investment. Roads, hospitals, irrigation, power projects. The things that actually grow the economy. Take Bihar for instance. Ahead of the recent elections, parties announced cash schemes giving women up to rupees 10,000. Bihar is one of India's most fiscally weak states. Over 70% of its total revenue comes from the center. So any extra spending makes it extremely vulnerable. And here's the fiscal shocker. These schemes could cost nearly 4% of Bihar's gross state domestic product, that is GSDP. That's more than the state's entire planned capital expenditure for the year. Basically, money that builds highways is now funding cash transfers. And this isn't just Bihar. Various reports and analysis shows a clear pattern. Back in 2015 and 2020, the Aam Aadmi Party swept the Delhi Assembly, powered by highly popular welfare promises, free electricity, free water, and subsidized public services. In Punjab, a similar playbook unfolded. When AAP contested in 2022, it promised 300 units of free electricity, subsidized services, and welfare allowances. Those commitments helped secure a landslide victory. In Madhya Pradesh, politics has increasingly revolved around cash transfers. Ahead of the 2023 elections, the state announced the Ladli Behna Yojana, offering monthly payments to women. And then there's Karnataka. Just before the 2023 elections, the Congress government unveiled 5 major guarantees, the most prominent among them the Gruha Jyoti scheme, promising free electricity up to 200 units per month. Whenever elections happen, state fiscal deficits jump sharply. One state went from a 1% deficit before election to over 5% during election year. Why? Because welfare promises explode overnight, but revenue doesn't. And the gap, well, it's filled through borrowing, pushing states dangerously close to their borrowing limits. When states overspend on freebies, something quietly gets cut. Development. Delayed projects, fewer new schools, slower metro lines, reduced health spending, and high deficits hurt a state's creditworthiness. Future borrowing becomes costlier. It becomes a spiral. Borrow to give today, borrow even more tomorrow. Economists warn that if this continues, we may revisit the early 2000s when many states were financially crippled and could barely pay salaries. And remember, India's growth story depends on states investing in infrastructure. If that money is eaten up, by pre-poll giveaways. Long-term growth slows. But politically, freebies work. This is the real dilemma. Freebies are incredibly effective in winning elections, but they weaken the financial health of the very states they promise to uplift. And that's the fiscal reality most voters never see. Women outvote men in almost every Bihar constituency. In many constituencies, women outnumbered men by 20 to 30%. Jivika's network mobilizes far more effectively than party cadres. So cash schemes change voting behavior, but they also weaken the state's ability to grow. And that's the dilemma no one talks about. So what's the way forward? Experts recommend 3 big steps. Number 1, stronger fiscal rules so states can't overshoot budgets before elections. Number 2, improving revenue generation so welfare schemes become sustainable, not election-only stunts. And number 3, transparency. Voters need to know which schemes help long-term and which just win votes short-term. Freebies may look attractive today, but tomorrow's development depends on today's fiscal decisions. And the question isn't just, what am I getting now? It's, what is my state losing because of it? If this gave you a new perspective, hit like and subscribe and tell us in the comments, would a cash giveaway influence your vote? Well, that's all in today's episode of Inside Out. Subscribe for more such interesting videos and check out Outlook Business's latest magazine.